Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're diving into the absolute ultimate high-energy toolkit for defending like a total pro in EA Sports FC 26 on the PS5. We're drawing our insights directly from a really fantastic guide by Sagar Gaming, and we're going to unpack the exact mechanics that separate the average players from the true elite. You know, when you're out there on the virtual pitch, your goalkeeper is literally your last line of defense. But honestly, so many players just leave them completely up to the game's automated systems. Well, we're changing that right now. Let's break down every single essential movement and control you need to master to completely dominate the penalty box. Look, are you tired of conceding easy goals? Because it's pretty much the ultimate gamer's dilemma, right? You're playing this beautiful possession game, you totally dominate the midfield, but then one lucky through ball slips past your center backs and suddenly the ball is sitting in the back of your net. It is incredibly frustrating. But here is the most empowering takeaway from Sagar Gaming's guide. You really don't have to just watch helplessly. You can stop those cheap goals by shifting your whole mindset from being a passive observer to an active participant.
All right, Toolkit Part 1, Defensive Positioning.
So when an attacker breaks your defensive line, you basically have two core options. For an aggressive rush, you just hold the triangle button down to sprint directly toward the attacker. This is absolutely your go-to move for one-on-one situations because it rapidly shrinks that shooting angle. But if you double-tap triangle instead, you execute what's called a contain rush. Your keeper rushes out, sure, but stays totally controlled, applying intense pressure without fully committing to the tackle. It's all about mind games. Do you smother them instantly, or do you force a mistake?
Now, what happens if you completely misread the play and rush out way too early? Seriously, don't panic. You actually have a vital safety valve built right in, which is the cancel goalkeeper rush. All you do is simply release the triangle button. That's it. The exact moment you let go, your goalkeeper instantly cancels their forward movement and resets their feet. Mastering this one simple release will absolutely keep you from getting easily chipped.
Okay, if you want to talk about true defensive mastery, you really need to use manual goalkeeper movement. By holding R3 and moving the left stick, you can physically position your keeper exactly where you want them to be. Top-tier players use this all the time to manually step to the near or far post, completely locking down the specific shooting angle they anticipate the striker is going for. You're basically reading your opponent's mind, and let me tell you, when you pull it off, it is incredibly satisfying.
Moving right along to Toolkit Part 2, Ball Handling.
So you've made the save, but the ball is just loose in the box and players are frantically scrambling everywhere. Just press R1 to securely pick it up with your hands and instantly kill the danger. Simple. But once it's secured, you might actually want to switch things up a bit. Pressing triangle drops the ball right back down to your feet. This neat little trick allows you to set up a specific pass or a really precise kick, giving you total, absolute control over the flow of the next play.
And finally, Toolkit Part 3, Launching the Counterattack. Because look, securing the ball is really only half the battle. Now you have to transition from defense to offense, and you've got two main paths for distribution: hands versus feet and standard versus driven. For a quick standard start to a nearby teammate, just press X for a throw. If you want to bypass the midfield entirely, press square for a standard drop kick. But the real magic, that happens with the R1 modifier. Holding R1 and pressing X unleashes a driven throw, which is so much faster and more powerful. Similarly, holding R1 and pressing square delivers a lower, super fast driven kick that reaches your forwards in the blink of an eye. You've got to mix these up to ensure your counterattacks are absolutely lethal.
So how do you actually make all of this second nature? The pro's next steps are crystal clear here. Take these mechanics straight into the training arena. You really don't want to be trying to remember button combos in the 90th minute of a tied game, right? Isolating these specific controls in practice is what builds that crucial muscle memory required to drastically improve your defending when the pressure is truly on.
Which brings us to the final and honestly most crucial question you have to ask yourself before you load into your next match. Are you going to just let the AI decide your fate, or will you step up and take control of the net? You have the complete toolkit now, from aggressive rushing all the way to pinpoint counterattacks. Step up, actively use these tools, and truly own the pitch. The choice is quite literally in your hands. Thanks for joining.